Hello, this is Reverend Twyla Reece coming to you from Unity of Merced in Merced, California. It is so lovely to be here with you. It is Saturday, June 26th. I'm recording from my home. Tomorrow, for our Sunday service, we have a guest speaker. Randy Lane will be speaking on a personal journey of his. I'll let him explain that to you if you come for the service tomorrow. Did I tell you we meet at 305 West 26th Street at 10:30 a.m. in Merced, California? But I'm here with you this afternoon, and um, I don't know where you're going to see me. Facebook, YouTube, on our website, unitymerced.org. It's always so funny for me to say this because I'm recording it and I'm going, I don't know where you're going to see it, but you're seeing it because if you're hearing me, then you're seeing it. Kind of silly, huh? Anyway, I am just again happy to be here with you and to bring you a message that I'm calling Seeing Through the Eyes of the Soul. To see through the eyes of the soul. I had an experience earlier this week where I had an opportunity to minister to someone who was in deep distress, deep distress. And I stopped what I was doing and out in the world and went to see if I could help her in any way. Hopefully I did. And but what I do know is that before I found complete resolution in being able to help her, two wonderful police officers stopped by who knew her and took over and helped her and let me know that I could go on my way. But here's the thing about this. I personally have a difficult time with our world right now. I find so much good and wonder and beauty and kindness and generosity in our world, so much love. And yet, on the other hand, there's a lot of pain and suffering going on, a lot of distress, a lot of angst, a lot of people who are without homes, whose homes have been destroyed because of warfare, because of hatred, a lot of fear that has been put into the world because of the egoic drive of power and power over people and generating the sense of fear and unrest in our world. And I know that anytime that someone is coming from this place where they feel that they have to have such power and control over people, that behavior is coming from a deep sense of fear that they may not even know that they're operating from. But we are told over and over again, and we experience in our own lives and our own bodies, that everything is either love or fear. So I had been cycling back through this circle that I go through of feeling not hopeless. I never feel hopeless, but feeling powerless on how to make a difference in the world, how to how to help change things, how to change minds, how to get people to look deeper into their soul and experience a different aspect of the divine than what is often traditionally taught, and instead taking it out to the universal source of good and life, where everything is just beautiful oneness, where there is that recognition that we are all connected, all one body, no separation, no physical hell, no physical heaven, no physical devil, Satan, enemy, whatever you call it, but states of consciousness that keep us out of the beauty of remembering that we are all one body. So again, I had been cycling through this place and feeling such unrest with the unrest and the anger and what I call people being mean to people. And rotating through that place of how can I be of service and what is mine to do in these situations. And then, as I was telling you, I was out on my walk and I came across this person in deep distress. Now, at first, there was a part of me that just felt tired, that just felt tired. And I didn't know in that moment whether or not I wanted to stop, right? Have you ever been in that place? But I couldn't leave it. I could not leave this person. She was sobbing. She was sobbing. She was in so much distress. And there was just no way I was going to walk away and leave this woman on the side of the street. Couldn't do it. And so I did go up to help her. And like I said, the police came along and they were able to further the help that she needed. And they let me know it was okay. They had it and I could go on my way. But I sat with this in that question of what is mine to do in the world. Now I'm using my experience, but I'm hoping that perhaps it resonates with something that you go through. And it came to me not knowing all the answers, not knowing how incarnation really works, not knowing fully how God works. We can only know what we know. We can only know what our consciousness is ready to understand. And it came to me that what if, since I have myself, again, speaking about me and my story, do not have the power to help every single person in the world, I of myself to bring peace to the Middle East, to feed all of the starving children, all the hurt, and children who are so afraid, let alone all the starving adults and all of the adults who are in a place of distress in their world, not knowing what their choices were coming into this world. But what if my job at any given moment is to just love them, to shine the light of love on just one person, one situation, repeatedly, one after the other, starting with myself, starting with myself, to first and foremost, for us to love ourselves so that we have the understanding and the physical stamina to then also love others. What if in that person's incarnation they only came to this planet at this moment in time just to experience unconditional love? Now, I don't know. It sounds pretty plausible to me, and yet I don't know. But I do know that that is something that we are capable of doing. We are capable of doing that. of bringing unconditional love into the world, one breath at a time, one glance at a time, one smile, one glance of seeing another person, of saying hello to another person on the street may be enough to shift their whole experience of life. For someone to have that moment of, oh, somebody sees me, I'm not alone. What if that was enough? I think it can be. Now, I think we can do a whole lot more as well. That's a wonderful place to start. One glance, one breath, one smile. If you are back into shaking someone's hand or giving them a hug, if you're still wearing your mask, to give them a twinkling of your eye. If there's a way that you can actually help them in some way, then that's even oh so more wonderful. To be the hands and the feet and the heart present at the time when someone needs something. Wouldn't you want someone to do that for you? Would you want to be left on the side of the street sobbing in fear and pain? Or would you want someone to at least stop and ask if there was anything that they could do? Right? So I want to share with you a reading by Ram Dass, the wonderful and marvelous spiritual teacher Ram Dass. It's called Being Love. It's a few paragraphs, but I do want to share it with you because I think he brought it home. He just brought it home. So Being Love by Ram Dass. The most important aspect of love is not giving in. Let me do this again. That's true too, but that's not what he said. The most important aspect of love is not in giving or the receiving, it's in the being. When I need love from others or need to give love to others, I'm caught in an unstable situation. Being in love rather than giving or taking love is the only thing that provides stability. Being in love means seeing the beloved all around me. I'm interested in only being love. In our culture, we think of love as a relational thing. I love you, you love me. But while the ego is built around relationship, the soul is not. The soul only wants to be loved. It's a true joy, for example, to turn someone whom you didn't initially like into the beloved. Shall I say that again? It's a true joy, for example, to turn someone whom you didn't initially like into the beloved. One way I practice doing so is by placing a photograph of a politician. This is his example. One way I practice doing so is by placing a photograph of a politician with whom I intensely disagree on my table. Each morning when I wake up, I say good morning to the Buddha, to my guru, and to the other beings there. But I find that it's with a different spirit that I say, hello, politician. I know it sounds like a funny thing to do, but it reminds me of how far I have to go to see the beloved in everyone. And that is what I have been training myself to do for the last 25 years, to see and be with the beloved everywhere. One of the interesting aspects of seeing the beloved in this way is that it doesn't require the other person to see themselves as the beloved. All that is necessary is that I focus on my own consciousness. It's interesting to notice, though, how warmly people respond to being seen as the beloved. Even if they don't know what's happening, of course, Ram Dass says, it all assumes that all your feelings are genuine and that you aren't compelled to act on them or to lay any sort of a guilt trip or anything else on the other person. It must be unconditional. The idea is simply to live and breathe among the beloved, among the beloved. The way I work at seeing others, like the politician, as the beloved is to remind myself this is another soul just like me who has taken a complicated incarnation just as I have. I don't want to be in his incarnation any more than he wants to be in mine. But since I want to rest in my soul and not in my ego, I would like to give everyone the opportunity to do the same. If I can see the soul that happens to have incarnated into a person that I don't care for, then my consciousness becomes an environment in which he or she is free to come up for air if they want to. That person can do so because I'm not trying to keep them locked in to being the person that I think they have become. It's liberating to resist another person, yet still see them as another soul. So to see each and every person as a soul, as a beloved soul, to see them as the beloved, no matter who they are, no matter what they are currently doing, no matter what they have done in the past or what you think they may do in the future. Whoever they are in their physical incarnation, they are still a divine being. We are each a divine being, always one with each other, no separation, no separation. We are one big collective body. We are one big collective body of vibrational love. And at its core is goodness. This is not from Ram Dass. But look for the soul of your adversary, of your nemesis. Perhaps it's not a person, it could be an organization, it could be a situation. But look for the soul of whatever that entity is, and then go beyond it, go within it. From Ephesians chapter 4, verse 2, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Ephesians 4:2. So I invite you to see through the eyes of the soul. See through the eyes of the soul into your own being, and see through the eyes of the soul into everything else, into other people, into situations, into organizations. Yes, there's a lot of unrest. We know that. We see it around us. And yet, I trust that it is all working together for good. We just can't see it. But there is a great awakening that is happening. All is good and all is God, period. Everything else is just playing out. It's playing out its game of whack a mole to get us to wake up and to pay more attention. So I leave you with those thoughts. Oh, I want to leave you with a closing quote. I love this. This is from St. Francis de Sales. Never be in a hurry. Do everything quietly and in a calm spirit. Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, even if your whole world seems upset. Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, whatever is going on around you. Look through the eyes of the soul and know that it is all good and it is all love. See you next week. Bye.